Hello dear creatives, welcome to Classy by Mavi. I am Mavis Timmy. In today's video on this channel, I'll be taking you through a step-by-step process of drafting the trendy funnel corsets. In other words, the Elizabethan corset. So this corset was majorly worn during the Elizabethan era, hence the name the Elizabethan corset. So it is now trending and it is known as the funnel corset. So I'll take you through the drafting process. Just follow suit. The drafting is quite easy. You just have to be patient. For the funnel corset, you do not need too much waist snatching. You can decide to leave your waist quite natural and then you snatch the bust area. So we are starting right away. What we want to do is to impute a normal basic bodice measurements. If you can draft a basic bodice, this part will be very easy for you. Let me just draw out my shoulder line. I'll keep it as straight as I can. So here is my shoulder line. I want to use the black marker. I'll be using the blue marker by the time I want to do my alterations, or so to say, when I want to do my alterations in the bustier region. So for now, we are working with a black marker. So let me take this again. This is our shoulder line. From the shoulder line, we'll be inserting all our measurements. So from the shoulder line, I'll be marking shoulder to bust. Shoulder to bust is 10. Shoulder to under bust is 13. Shoulder to waistline is 16. Then shoulder to the corset length is 20. Okay. So I also mark these lines this way, so I will have a straight line on my pattern. Having done that, I'll be using my long ruler to connect all the points so I can have my straight lines. So here is my bust line, BL. Here is my under bust line, UB. And here is my waistline, WL. And here is my corset length. So either you call it your full length or your corset length. I'll just say FL, which represents the full length. So I have all my lines. Now I'll be separating my back pattern from my front pattern. So before I do the separation, I have to separate my bust, my back bust measurement from my front. Okay, that is for the bust circumference measurement. I'll be differentiating front from back, right? So when you want to do this, while you are taking your client's measurement, you measure around the full bust circumference first. When you measure around the bust circumference and you get, for instance, you get 36 as your full bust circumference, you now come over and measure from one armhole, underarm, from one underarm to the other underarm, passing through your bust. Okay, that's how to measure your across bust. So you measure your across bust, which will serve as the front bust. For me, my bust circumference is 36 inches. So my across bust is 19. So 19 minus 36 is 17. That means the back will be 17. Okay, the back will be 17 while the front is 19. That's how you distribute your bust measurements. Okay, so my back bust is 17, my front bust is 19. Mind you, I measured the bust circumference first, which is 36, and then I measured my across bust from one underarm to the other arm, passing across the bust. That's how you get these measurements. Okay, so I haven't gotten that measurement. That's what I'll be using as my bust measurement. But before I will insert that bust measurement, I want to determine my chest line. Okay, that is measuring from your shoulder to your armhole. This measurements can be derived by calculating your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. Okay, so for me that measurement is 8.5. Is 7.5 plus 1 inch shoulder slope make it 8.5. That is 36 divided by 6 is 6 plus 1.5 is 7.5. Now plus 1 inch shoulder slope makes it 8.5. Okay, so that's how to derive your chest line. In case you don't know how to do this, you need to revisit your basic bodice drafting. Okay, how to draft a basic bodice pattern. I have it in this channel. I'll be dropping it in the link in the description box. I'll be dropping the link in the description box so you can watch it and get this part really simple. So this is our chest line. Okay, now let's draft our basic bodice. First, I will insert my across front measurements on my chest line and on my bust line. My across front measurement is 19 divided by 2 is 9.5. Okay, so I'm simply marking that here, and I'll come over here and also mark the same thing, 9.5. Okay, I will just connect these 2 points like this first. Then next I'll come over here and insert my shoulder width measurement, which is 7.5. My shoulder width is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I'll mark it here and come to my shoulder line and also mark it. Now I'll link these 2 points. I'm trying to create my shoulder, my armhole curve. Okay, so I haven't gotten to this point. The next thing I want to do, I will go up from here by 3.5 or by 3. I'm going up by 3, which is my neck depth and neck width measurements. This is not rigid, but I do 3. So I haven't gotten to this point. The next thing to do is to insert your across front measurement divided by 2. My across front is 13. 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So I'll mark it here, and then I'll link from here to here, and then I'll slope the shoulder first before I'll now finally link. So to slope the shoulder, I'll mark 1.5 inches down. This is the front shoulder. I'll slope it to this point. Okay, so I'm linking 1, 2, 3. If you can draft your basic bodice already, this part will be very easy for you, but if you can't, you can still learn. Can you see? So I have linked my armhole curve beautifully. So I haven't done that. The next thing is to come to the neckline. You can actually do this neck area before you do this. Coming to the neck, I'll be marking 3 inches down and 3 inches on the line too. Okay, that is, I'm using 3x3 neckline. So after marking 3x3 neckline, I'll simply link. I'll simply link like this, and then we have already sloped the shoulder, so this sloped point is where I'll link to the neck point. Okay, can you see we have formed our up, which is very, very beautiful. So the next thing we want to do, we have inserted our bust circumference measurement here already. The under bust circumference is what I want to insert next. My under bust is 29 inches. So 29 divided by 4 is 7 1/4. Okay, 7 1/4 is what I'm marking now. 7 1/4. I have marked that. Then the next measurement to be inserted is my waist circumference measurement. Waist circumference is 28 divided by 4 is 7. I've also marked 7. Okay, I marked 7. Then for the full length measurement, I'm inserting my hip circumference divided by 4, which is 42 divided by 4, which is 10.5. Okay, So I have marked it. Now I haven't gotten to that point. I will now link all my points. For the hip area, I'm linking with a curve, as you can see. Then for this underbust area, I'll link out like this, and then I'll link to the bust like this. Can you see? We have linked our corset pattern. This is the front pattern, as you know. Now, having gotten to this point, our basic bodice is ready, okay, with all the extra features we need for this corset. So let's impute our other measurements that we are needing for the corset. First, I want to impute my shoulder to underbust, my shoulder to overbust. Shoulder to overbust is 6.5. Shoulder to overbust 6.5. Now I will link. This one is overbust line, right? Overbust line. Okay, so I haven't gotten our overbust line. The next thing is to insert our bust span. Okay, my bust span is 6.5. So on the waistline, I am marking 6.5 divided by 2, which is 3 1/4. 3 1/4. On the under bust, I will also mark this 3 1/4. On the bust line, I'll also mark the 3 1/4. I'll come over to the over bust line and still mark my 3 1/4. Then I'll come to the arm and mark my 3 1/4. Okay, so I'll just insert one straight line to go across all these points like this. Okay, so mind you, we are not using darts for this pattern, so we just want to create the bustier. That's the essence of this dart we want to insert. We just want to create the bustier. After the bustier, we can cut out the pattern with the dart on it, and then we'll trace out the bustier first, and then come back and cut out the pattern with the dart on it. So let's go. So all we want to do here now is just to create little darts that we'll be using to form our bustier. Okay, mind you, what we have here from here to here is already the exact measurement for our under bust. So by the time we want to create the bustier, we'll add whatever we are about to take away from here. Okay, but for now, since this pattern is for our funnel corsets, we will not add anything. I'll be showing you the entire process. I'll trace it out and then add what I'm supposed to add. For now, let's just move along. Okay, so since it's time to create the bustier, I'll be using this blue pen so that you know what we are not using for our funnel corsets and what we'll be using only for the bustier. So for this bustier creation, on this part, this side front part, I'm inserting 3/4. Then for the center front part, I'm inserting 1/4. Okay, and then I'll link it to the bust points like this and like this. Can you see? Then for the over bust, I'll be doing 1/2 inch this way and 1 inch this way. Okay, and then I'll also link. I'll link this part with a curve like this, so I blend out whatever excess I'll be having. Can you see? So I haven't done that. I will still go straight like this and like this. So we are not using these parts, we are just using only here. Okay, so I haven't done this. For these parts, I'll add back just like I mentioned before, for this pattern on black, we are not adding back any allowance, okay? But it's only for this bustier area. We'll be adding back whatever we have removed. So for this side, we removed 1/4 inch. So we are adding back the 1/4 inch. 1/4 like this. So we are linking here to here to create our bustier. Okay? I hope somebody is getting this, to create our bustier. This is for the bustier, right? And then for this part, we are going out from this line, extending, because year half, year 1.5. So we extend this line by 1.5. 1.5. Okay. Now we have, since we have done that, we'll be having a new armhole for the bustier part. Once again, all these blue lines is only for the bustier part, just for the bustier part. So now if you want a straight bustier, you can work with this. But if you don't want a straight bustier, from here you insert your cleavage measurement, that is from your neck to the area on the cleavage point that you want to stop. So me, I will stop at 6 inches. So I'll mark 6 and then link it back like this. Okay, so our bustier pattern is ready. This is our bustier. This is our bustier pattern, the one on blue. Okay, so having gotten our bustier pattern ready, let's go over and trace it out before we come and complete our funnel corset drafting. Okay, so I'll get my tracing wheel, get another pattern paper underneath, and trace out this bustier. Then we will now wipe it off and continue with our funnel corset drafting. Now, dear creatives, let's trace out our bustier pattern. I'll place this underneath. Before you trace it out, you can decide to style this bustier. This is coming straight like this, just like this down. You can decide to go up and give it a little kind of shape. You can decide to go up like this and then come like this, so it has a kind of pointy shape, right? You can do this. Okay, I think we should do this before we trace out. Okay, so from here you mark about 1 inch upwards and then link it back. Okay, if you want me to sew this funnel corset, kindly let me know in the comment section, so I will know that people are interested in the sewing aspect, right? So just follow me as I trace out. Mind you, I'm only tracing out the blue part. Okay, so for this part, I'm thinking we should do more than 1/4. We should just do half. Okay, to give a better fit. Let's work with half. So we add the half back here. So this is it. As you are tracing, you do not want it to shift. So we have traced out our bustier pattern. Let's remove it and see. Okay, it is very clear to me. I don't know if you can see. So I'll redraw with my black marker now. Now for the curve parts, you try to use the curved part of your ruler to redraw them. Now this is the armhole cuff. We'll curve it. Mind you, we have raised it up small. So we are just following exactly what we traced out. So our bustier pattern has been traced out. This is the center front, unfold the CF, then the side front. A bustier pattern is ready. So that simply means this pattern is of no use here again. Okay, this blue pattern, just use your mind's eye to remove it from this our pattern. So we are not using it again, right? We are using our original pattern that we are working with before. Now that our bustier pattern has been raised up, okay, we will create our funnel scoop. Okay, our funnel corset has a kind of scoop neckline, right? So from this chest line, you can decide to come down or go up a little before you continue your scooping. So for me, I'll just go up a little by half an inch. So from here, I mark half an inch upwards and then scoop it to the bust line. Okay, I want to scoop it to the bust line. For some persons, you can actually you can come down whatever you want. You can come down from this bust line a little before you scoop. That means you really want the funnel to come down, to be really open. Or if you want it a little covered, you can go up from here, from the bust line by maybe half an inch or so. You can also come from the exact bust line. Okay, I think I'll do going up from the bust line by half an inch too. So from the chest line, I went up by half an inch. From the bust line, I went up by half an inch. So I will link the points with a scoop shape. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? I do not have the exact curve I need to get me this shape right now. I don't have it handy. So I have to just use my hands and trace it out. Now I'll connect the points. Can you see? So our funnel corset scoop shape is ready. So every other part remains the same. Every other part remains the same. Mind you, note that in this pattern. Now I'll be cutting out our funnel corset. It's as easy as this, no complications. If you don't know how to draft the basic bodies, especially the full scale bodies, not the one that stops halfway, the full scale bodies, I'll be dropping the link. I'll also be dropping the one that stops halfway, then I'll also be dropping the full scale. All of them are in this channel, right? They are all in this channel. So when you watch, this funnel corset becomes very easy for you. But the only thing you need to do is your underbust tightening for the bustier. Once the bustier pattern has been drafted out, I've been traced and cut out, the only thing you need to do is just to come in and create this scoop neckline, and that's all. So remember our labeled points. Before I remove this what I'm cutting right now, I will transfer the lines. Okay, let's do our transferring of the lines. This is my chest line, bust line, under bust line, waist line, and full length. We are doing this because of the back. Okay, we'll also be using this pattern for the back. Now you may be wondering, why is the back and front half length? Why are they equal? They are equal because this pattern has nothing to do with the bust. The bust is different, as you have seen. We have traced out the bust. This excess we added to create our bust is what will accommodate the bust. That's the reason why I use the same half length with my back. My front half length is 17 inches if I'm measuring with my bust. That's if I pass my tape through my under bust before I measure to my half length, it is 17. But if I just measure straight down without going into my under bust, I measure straight down, it is 16. So that's the one you use for this corset, so that the back and front half length will also carry 16. So when you are measuring for this corset, do not take your tape under your bust. Just measure straight, direct, and pass. By the time you are measuring your under bust, you just measure your under bust and impute it. The under bust measurement is to guide you to get your bustier. Okay, so by the time you have gotten your bustier, you are creating your cup shape separately from this corset. Okay, so I hope that is gotten. If you want me to sew this corset, so we have a moment of truth to test if this pattern is actually correct. If you want it, please drop your comments for me. Let me know. Okay, let me know that you actually want it. So this is our funnel corset. By the time we are done sewing our bustier, everything will come in place. Okay, so let me cut out the bustier pattern also before we move ahead to drafting the back. So this is what we'll be sewing for our front. Okay, that's what we traced out. So there are some points that you need to mark so that you know which point is with which point. This point is with this point. So when you want to join, you join like this and like this, and you get your cup. Okay, you create your cup like this. So if you want a moment of truth, as I've mentioned already, you let me know. Now we will insert a line to get our center back line. So this will serve as our center back line. You can decide to go ahead and create your normal neck depth, neck width, everything. Okay, I think I will do that. That line is not straight. Sorry, I have to redraw it. We need a straight line. Okay, so this is a straight line. This line is not straight. So on the straight line, we will insert our measurements again to create our back. Now, this neck depth and neck width is for formality because I just want to show you that it's the normal basic bodice. Okay. Now we will link to get our back neck. So I came down by 1 inch and came in by 3 inches. Okay. Then the next thing is your shoulder. (7.5). So I will come to my chest line and also insert the same measurement, 7.5. Then I'll link it together like this. The next thing is to insert to drop my shoulder slope. So I'll be inserting 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and I'll link back to the neck width and neck depth. Next, I will divide this sloped part of the shoulder into 2 and trace my midpoint. And then next, I will insert my across back measurement, which is 7 inches. It got me here. And I'll use my... So after that, I will insert my bust circumference measurement. Bust circumference is for the back. Remember for the front we got 19 and for the back 17. You know how that worked or how that played out. So 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. That's what you insert for the back. And you link. So we are done with that aspect. The next thing, your bust circumference should be brought down again, 8.5. You will link these 2 points. This is the under bust circumference. The under bust circumference is 7 1/4. The waist circumference is 7. Okay. So we have cut out the front and there is no space for hip circumference. So I've added fabric. I'll get a masking tape to make it stay in place. Now that has been done, so I will extend this line. Okay, I think the line has naturally extended itself, but let me redraw. Okay, so the hip circumference is 42 divided by 4, 10.5. So this is it. Now we'll be linking all the points just like we did for the front. Have you seen? So we are here now. The next thing we want to do, we'll insert our shoulder to over bust line, which is 6.5. Now our drafting will come from here now. Now, the only thing we'll need to do right now is to shape out the back. First, I'll drop down this line by 1 inch. So from the back, we have dropped down by 1 inch. I will just link it to the side, okay? Just to give the final shape. Then after that, we will now impute measurements to get our back opening, okay? Or our lacing bar. So for the lacing bar, that's where you tighten the bust area a little, right? So we will mark 2 inches from the chest line, 2 inches from the chest line. On the bust line, bring down also the 2 inches, okay? So mind you, when this 2 inches is opened up, we have an opening of 4 inches. And then you smash the bust together a little with your lace, okay? So in the lacing process, you see that you now tighten the bust a little. That's the essence of the corset, or the beauty of the corset, so to say. Now on the waistline, you mark, since you have marked 2 here, on the waistline you mark 1, and on the hip line you mark half. Can you see now? So this is no longer with us. This is our back pattern. So for the back pattern, we are also done. I'll cut out now. After cutting out, we'll now come over and place imaginary channels. Mind you, your channels can be how you want it. There is no rigid way of placing your boning channels. So we are totally done with this. We have our back pattern ready and our front pattern ready, okay? So back and front patterns, and then the bustier pattern. So our funnel corset is ready. If you have found this video interesting or helpful to you, this is the time you click on the like button and the subscribe button. If you want to see more of this video, especially if you want me to make the sewing part, this is the time you need to drop your comment. Comment in the comment section, I want to see how you sew this corset, or I want to see a sewing video of this corset. Okay, so for the boning channels, you can just decide to place them how you want. Just place them how you want to see them. I think I'll be doing a transparent corset for the funnel. I'll be doing a transparent corset for the funnel. The more the bones, the more beautiful it comes out. Okay, so I'll go ahead and insert more bones. The more the bones, the more beautiful it is. You can even decide to cross the bones like this on each other. So you just place your bones where you want it. For the back, there are rules because of the lacing bar. Okay, one bone must be here, and one after about 3/4 inches difference, so you can have your eyelets. Okay, so this is the place to create your lacing bar. Okay, then just one bone here will do the job, and then one at the side, of course. So this is your funnel corset. Should we sew the funnel corset together? Drop your comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one.